Hey guys, it's Mike the Wrestling Godsmith, and you guys are watching On Wrestling, the premier wrestling YouTube that focuses on AEW, NXT, and many more. This video, guys, is for my AEW review. I'm doing it today because I'm a little bit more refreshed. Yesterday was a lot to take in, and I know you guys have probably already heard it from Steve and Larson about their version, but I'm gonna do mine with a little bit more flair to it. Because because the first match we had was the young Bucks against the Sydal brothers, which like Matt Sydal is so good and his brother is good. I'm just mad that, and I think what he was trying, because here's the thing, they were doing super kicks, they were basically doing super kicks like frog splashes, like the crowd was into it. I think the crowd was into like the Sydal brothers more than the Young Bucks because here's the thing: the Young Bucks being heel, I kind of figured that was gonna happen because of Don Callis. Because Don Callis is like the invisible hand, and this is like where the story has been going. I rather him be the mouthpiece, but if you already are trying to get Michael Nakazawa, Cutler to be your goons or whatever, and you got all these other, like I said with my predictions where you got all these other factions, like here's the thing. I love that match. That match was a really good back and forth. Like I'm just kind of because he was trying to. I think he was like because he did like a double poison Rana, and then the thing was like Matt Sydal was doing double poison runs, and Mike Sydal was doing like frog splashes, super kicks, and stuff. And I like how they can change up their moves. Like the Young Bucks still has their BTE trigger. You know the power driver with the drop kick, which is still the dumbest move because I feel like you have to hold your presence for a long period of time. And I think the Seidel brothers kind of countered that. So they pretty much know how to beat them. And the thing what kind of got me was like I think when he was like when Matt was in the on top of the rope and then Matt Seidel he slipped like I think the rope was slippery because he slipped because he looked like he was trying to jump like he looked like he was trying to do like a 450 because he looked like he was trying to do it or do like a 450 um frog splash combination because it looked like he was trying to do that, or a spiral tap because like he slipped, but it was a really good match. And the thing is, which was funny to me, because um Matt does like a Johnny like he does the Johnny Cage split and he punches him right in the nuts. Like he just does the nut punch. It's hilarious, but in the end. Mike said that was the last guy. He tried to do a bunch of super kicks to fend the Young Bucks off. But like when they get you alone, like when you're one on like 2-on-1 with them, it was over. They do the BT, they get the 3 count, and then we got a Christian like a Taz promo like when him fighting Hangman Adam Page. That was a like before he fights Hangman Adam Page, and or was it after? Give me a sec, guys, because there's a lot I gotta go through. So basically, the next match we have, it was the next match we had was we basically had Brian Cage against Hangman Adam Page, and it was a really good match. I think that Hangman had everything. He did the buckshot, the lariat, the dead eye, because Brian Cage is a big dude. But Brian Cage just cleaned him. He beat him up like he was doing drill claws, power bombs, and he did like one more drill claw to get the win. And the thing is, he attacked him. He attacked him when he was doing his entrance, and that's pretty smart. But the thing I'm seeing with Team Taz is that they're never gonna get anywhere without Taz. And I feel like he's a good guy, but I feel like you know what? I'll get into the promo the interview later, in a minute after I'm done with this match. Like I said, and then Brian Cage does a drill call, gets the 1, 2, 3. The crowd was into it, but I just like him being the FCW champion. I just don't think he's ever gonna. I really don't think he's ever gonna defend that belt. I think that belt is really just a vanity championship so bad. I really do. But anyway, like I said, then Christian like Taz is Taz is doing like an interview and he says that Brian Cage is beating uh of Hangman Page and now we're number one, and I'm just like and Christian shows up and he's like Taz I think I think you're mad. I think he's like you know I'm better I used to respect you choking people out doing choking people out suplexing, but now you're Taz the manager. This is my version of it. And I love the fact that he said, "I love winning and losing is not important, but winning and learning is." And I like that because that's kind of a good spin on it. That was kind of a cool line he kind of hit him with because he even said, like, your guys. He said your guys maybe they'll learn they can do this without you. See, I don't mind Christian telling Team Taz that because Taz is always going to try to talk to Christian, and I think that because Taz wants Christian or whatever, and I feel like he wants him for some dumb reason, which I really kind of think that he wants to recruit him again. Because here's the thing. But the next thing we had, the next match we had, which was a fantastic match in my opinion. The next match we had Miss Chris Statlander against Penelope Ford. But Penelope Ford, it was a really good match. I love Chris Statlander because she's been doing a lot better. Like I haven't seen her. I've seen her on Dark, but ever since she came back from Arcade Anarchy, and she was just like demolishing Penelope Ford. Like Penelope Ford knows how to do like top rope moves and arm stuff, but she was getting demolished. Like Chris Statlander did like a diving a suicide dive, poison Rana. Her I think her version of like the power bomb. It's really sick. It's really a sick power bomb because like she gives you that extra elevation. It was crazy, because that was sick. But Chris Statlander, I think she would be a match for Hikaru Shida. I think she'd be the match, too, next to Dr. Britt Baker, because that was fantastic. And then pretty much after the match, we see Kip going into his locker, like going into the locker room, and Miro's there eating an apple, and Miro just goes crazy and just starts throwing him into the garage door, using the train, wrapping it around his neck. He's like, I'm sorry, and he's like you're gonna pay. He's like you're gonna pay your price. He's like you're gonna pay your pay the price, and he just takes the locker room door and slams it into his wrist. I think he broke his wrist, because that had to hurt. And Miro says, "I forgive you," like rubs his head and says, "I forgive you." You see, I don't. And here's the thing: Miro has got this big, like he's really big on this championships. Like he's not gonna be hunting these titles yet, and this dude is good. And I feel like he only like his promo is great, but I'm like, dude, you should be going after the TNT title at least. Give Darby a fight, but because I don't really think he was gonna do that. I don't really think he's gonna go after it yet, or he might go after the AEW title. But to take it off Kenny is like, I think Mox would be the first one he would go after though. Mox would be the dude to go after because he's a threat, but you know. And then and speaking of and like I said, and speaking of Dr. Britt Baker, we actually had a promo about her being the number one contender, and she's like, I told you, your role model and spokeswoman and the face of the women's division. She said, I am number what I am going after, and I will Sheeta later. That's funny, but it's not really. It's a pun. It's a kind of a bad pun. I just like the fact that she was like, "I am Dr. Britt Baker, DMD," and then Tony was doing it. I just love that he does that. Like Tony doesn't feel like he's happier, and I'm thinking he's happier being being the interview guy and being a commentator because I kind of like the feel of it. Like the one person I actually wanted, like I do want to see Mike Tenay, because I feel like Excalibur, Mike Tenay and Excalibur and Tony Schiavone, like his hypeness, like when he gets into like a championship match, it'll be good. I mean, I didn't mind the Don Callis, like he is a good color commenter, but the thing is with Don Callis, what I loved about with the Mox, and I'm gonna talk about it too, the Mox, the Kingston versus Nakamura, but it wasn't really a match. It was like, because the thing I didn't like about Michael Nakazawa, it was like they literally had him as a IT guy, like a tech guy. He's got his laptop and his headset. I'm like, and he's wearing the khakis and the shirt. I was like, is he an IT guy? Like, that's his new gimmick, IT dude. Like, he's like, I'm not doing Kingston was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this sports entertainment shit. Like he's like, and then Kenny comes out. He's like, get in the ring. He's like, Kenny comes out, and he's like, and knock hits him in the back of the laptop, and Kingston just do like a one arm power bomb and just takes the chair and try to break his leg. And he says to him, he's like, give me what I want right now. I'll break his leg. So you're gonna break his leg. Kenny's like, you're gonna break his leg. You're gonna break his leg. He knows what he signs up. He knows what he signed up for. I would say that was kind of a dick move. But on Kenny's part, that was a dick move because it was. Because the thing is, like, I like the fact that he kind of like. And the thing is, he had to get Don Callis to give in because that was hilarious. And like I said, I apologize for the long video. Because then Don Callis comes out and he's like, wait, and they bring Kenny in and he puts him in a chokehold and he gets the same chair that he's gonna break. Kenny's like he's like Don, either you give me 1-on-1, 2-on-1, or a tag match with him. He's like, all right. He's like, we'll make it work. Whatever you want, we'll make it work. And he's like, well, all right. And then this like soon as after all of that, I think Don Callis really cares about Kenny because I think it's on a personal and professional level. I think Don Callis has got to be like his nephew or uncle or something like that, or family friend of. I think he's family friend. I think he's a family friend of the Omegas. Because here's the thing, I like Kenny actually sending the goons out like Cutler, and Cutler was afraid. He didn't even want to go out there. He's like, I'm not going out there. But yo, that was a really good. That was a really good segment. I think Kingston is ready, bro. He wants Kenny's title or somebody wants it because it's like he's got so many targets on his back. I feel like Kenny is just like literally glad that he has the elite and which is the Bullet Club. He has the Young Bucks. He has Luke Gallows and them, which I think they're gonna take those Impact titles like in Japan though. I really think that's gonna happen. Or the next Impact pay per view, which is I think it said Bound for Glory, and then Slammiversary, and then other pay per view. I forgot the other one they said. There's a whole bunch of them coming up. I don't even know, but I'll look it up later. But anyway, then we got a fantastic match, a fantastic 6-man tag trials match with Dustin Rhodes, Billy Gunn, and the guy I forgot his name. What is the other dude's name? Something Williams. And then we got like the factory, which is we've got QT Marshall, the guy with the beard, and Anthony Ogogo. Cause here's the thing, bro. I love the Nightmare Express Bus. That thing looks sick. I like the logo on it. I like that they all came out and they were just beating the holy crap out of him. And this dude who was like basically taking on QT Marshall and giving it to him, and like they lost the match because of actually it was disqualification because Anthony Ogogo, I think he kidney punched Billy Gunn, and then he kidney punched Dustin, so he was beating on like the dude, and then out of nowhere, Dustin comes back and beats the crap out of him. They're fighting all over the outside, and then QT Marshall tries to get in the Nightmare Express bus, opens the door. Kenny shows up. I mean, no, Cody comes back, and Cody's got the jacket on. And he's just whipping the crap out of QT Marshall. Like, he's throwing him into the bus. Takes off he has an undershirt on. Rips off the undershirt. Gets on top of the bus. He gets on top of the bus. Does a figure 4 leg lock on the bus to break his leg. So the match they're going to get, it's going to be, I think it's going to be Dustin or, I think it might be Dustin Rhodes against QT Marshall at Blood and Guts. But the one thing I do want to talk about, because this is the last part, well, second to last part, is the Inner Circle parlay, which I did like with the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle had some good points, because MJF said, because first the first person that spoke was Sean Spears. He said, he's like coin toss. He's like, we should go first because we got. I forgot what the word he said. We got dragged into this. And he says, he's like, Sammy, you're going to fail, buddy. And he basically says to Sammy, like, you're gonna fail, we're gonna win. Like, he's like, you're gonna fail. He's like, he's like, you've been swimming on the top, but I'm gonna step on your head, I'm gonna crush your head. And the thing is, like, Sammy says, you know what? Like, you want to talk about failure? He's like, you've been a failure ever since you showed up here. He's like, you were a failure where you used to work too. And I love the fact that he was like he was literally talking to him, saying like he's like, I'll fight you. He's like, I'll be the first man to start the match. It's like 1-on-2, 1-on-3, 1-on-4, 1-on-5. The popcorn guy, I'll fight anybody. And the thing I liked about it was like, and then Dak says to Santana, he says to him, he's like, I know you. He's like, you got a. He's like, he talks about his kids. He's like, you got a beautiful. He's like, Santana, you got a son waiting at home for you, and Ortiz, you got a beautiful baby girl. He's like, well, he's like, what I want you to do. He's like, I want you to. He's like, I want you to hug and kiss your kids. He's like, I don't want to see the relaxed, complacent Santana Ortiz. I want to see the. He's like, I want to see the killers, the psychopaths. The blood. The crazy, the blood. The alpha blood Santana Ortiz. And he says to him, after he says to this, he says to him, he's like, I want you to take your kids. I want you to hug them and kiss them and pray and tell them and whisper in their daddy might be coming home. And then I liked about it, like he was really antagonizing him. So, and I like that MJF, he did his promo and he says to him, he says, Chris, Chris, he's like, you know, look, he's like, how nervous? He's like, how nervous are you right now? He's like, I bet he's like, you're really nervous. He's like, you have this company on your back. Every time you don't hit a home run, you're taking food out of everybody's mouth. And he's like, don't worry. He's like, at Blood and Guts, I'm gonna take that, you know. I forgot the quote. It's who wears the crown has a weary head. He's like, I will take the crown off your weary head and take your spot because he's like, we, my family, we are gonna win. And the thing is, what I liked about it, he's like, I'm like at 25, you were just curtain jerking. But at 25, he's like, I'm better than you. And the thing is, like, what I like about it is like Chris Jericho says, he said, at 25, yeah, I was curtain jerking at WCW, but it made me into the man I am today. And he basically says to him that I was all over the world in Germany and Japan and other places, and it made me realize, like, he's like, you self-righteous, but how do you think you think you deserve this spot? Like, you deserve your trust fund when you were 18, but your mom and dad gave you. And he was like, he's like, you want my spot? He's like, you gotta earn it. He's like, you're not gonna just beat us. We're gonna wipe our shoes off you like the crap you wipe on the sidewalk when you step in it. And he was like, the 1969 was the summer of love, but 2021 will be the summer of blood and guts. Like, because we are the inner circle, we are blood and guts, which I like that. Here's the thing, I like that promo, but I love MJF's promo. I do, because like he speaks in a different version. Like, he wants his spot. Like, he will do anything to take it. And I think because it's blood and guts, it's gonna be crazy next week, and I can't wait to see it. I am gonna do my predictions probably tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do them tomorrow. But like I said, guys, the last thing I want to talk about is the Darby Allin and 10 match, which was really fantastic because 10 was pulling out everything. Like, it was a really slow paced match, but I love that it was like it slowed down a bit. Like, the first half it was really slow, and then then it started to pick up because 10 was pulling out like one handed power bombs, drop kicks, submission, like, resting, like rest holds, like a lot of like he was doing really good suplexes though. Like, he did a really good like German suplex because that was rocking Darby. That was rocking him because I was surprised he was able to stand. I'm surprised he didn't get a concussion from that because like he threw him like it was like throwing a football across the field. Like, he threw him like 70 yards away, and I'm like, dude, because Darby was getting him with the because when Darby gets that limitless vibe, because he was kicked, like he was doing drop kicks off the second rope. He did a coffin drop outside, and then they're trying to get upset, and Sting was like, "Wait, hey, what are you doing?" Like, he took out the bat. He looked like he wanted to fight Dark Order. He looked like he didn't trust him, and I love that he comes out with him, bro. I love that Sting is being like the man, like he's being the manager. He's not getting involved, but he's being the manager. And the thing is, what I loved about it was like Ten had him in the full Nelson, and he was just like literally the full Nelson. It looked like he was fading, but it looked like he got him. Like he was passing out, and the thing is, like, Darby Allin rolled on his back and took the full Nelson and was able to get the pin. And I thought, like, the way it looked like 10 won and got the belt. It looked like 10 was winning, and his shoulders were up, and Darby's was down, but you couldn't tell. But bro, it was a really fantastic match. It was really good because the crowd was into it. Because everybody, like, I like Darby. Darby's a good. I think he's the greatest GNC champion that we've ever had, and this dude has not lost that belt ever since he got it. And I think now it's like, because you look at it, like, he took the Darby band, he raises his up, and he shook his hand. He shook his hand. He hugged him. Like, bro, that was respect. And then out of nowhere, and I mean literally out of nowhere, he, like, yo, then you see Ethan Page and you see Scorpio Sky. So those two, like, they start beating on Darby and putting him in submission hold, and, like, Darby trying to get him, and then out of nowhere, like, after that, you see Lance Archer. You see Lance Archer come in, and he starts trying to get him, and they're running away. They're scared of him. They're trying to run away, but he's like, yo. But they were like, next week we're getting. He's like, next week we are getting a match between, like, we are gonna get a match between Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page and Sting, and I think it's gonna be a two three 2-on-3 tag match. I couldn't really tell you, but like I said, I am gonna do my predictions for Blood and Guts. But because, like I said, guys, that was fantastic. AEW was fantastic. Like NXT, like I said, it was really fantastic. The crowd was really into a lot of matches I got to see. Uh, I really can't wait for the Sheeta versus Britt Baker match. I can't wait for next week. I'm hoping that match is official. I really do. I really do. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.